How's it going on, people? Luke here from LAGFX. We're back today with a new Sunday Sessions video. If you're new to this series, it's basically where we choose a few pairs on the Forex markets that we feel hold good potential for the coming week. And we break down some of the analysis we have performed to give you guys a better understanding on how we are looking to tackle these markets and profit from them. Throughout this video, I'm going to be talking through my strategy and some of the key areas that I am looking at entering in on these markets from. If throughout the video there is anything you are unsure about, there's terminology used that you don't understand, or the strategy itself that I use you are struggling to understand, please leave that feedback in the comments below, and I am more than happy to make a breakdown video on how I do things and how my strategy works, essentially. Now, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you left it a thumbs up. All the support you guys provide is really appreciated. It helps us grow on a day-to-day basis. And as I said, if you have any questions or queries with regards to the analysis I go through today, just leave those in the comments below. If you aren't involved in our VIP services, you're looking to buy a course, anything of that nature, all the links can be found in the description below. Go and check them out and see if we have any services that may be suited for yourself. Now, the first pair I'm going to start with is the euro to the US dollar. As you can see, price is trading us in a bearish way. As I said in the last Sunday Sessions video, I am expecting price to trade us lower, breaking this previous higher time frame low, delivering us with the key fundamentals of bearish structure, breaking the lows and protecting the highs. As you can see, each high that's been created has been lower than the last, and we haven't broken any highs. So that tells us that this market is trading us in a bearish way. Now, in order for us to get involved in this market, we need to find a key area of supply to get involved in this market from. So you can see above that I have marked out an area of supply that I'd love to get involved in short positions from. We just need to see price trade up and into this, clear this area of supply for supply to be introduced, demand to be offloaded, and then we can obviously look to get involved with a refined entry. Our confirmation to enter would come from a break of structure to the downside after the penetration of the supply zone, as that gives us the confirmation that enough supply has in fact been introduced. Now, this doesn't mean to say that we can't look to get involved in buy positions before we go short, but what we would need is we would need to see a break in the last protected high within this bearish move to the downside. So what we would want to see is for this high here, set at 1.0744, we want to see that break. This tells us that the demand in the market is now taken over. So the demand that's being picked up from these lows here has been enough in order to flip the current balance of the market, and then we can look to obviously get involved in those long positions. So a trade may look something like this. We want to see price break structure, pull back initially to allow us to get involved in this market with a refined entry, and then we can obviously look to take the next impulsive wave, ride that up and into the supply zone, so we can look to get involved in those short positions. By allowing price to pull back, it allows us to get involved at a better price, and we can increase our risk to reward ratios with the trade that we would be placing. So I do want to see a break in this high to give us the confirmation of a reversal, and then we can simply wait for price to pull back and get involved in this market. So definitely looking to go short in this market longer term. However, shorter term, I would love to see price break to the upside to allow us to get involved in some bullish opportunities before we go short. But that's my analysis for the euro to the US dollar. Okay, now moving over to the Great British Pound to the US dollar market. This is a market I'm wanting to see price go long from to trade us into this area of supply before we go short. So very similar to the euro USD, and this is because the quote currency of both pairs is the US dollar. So we want to see weakness in the US dollar, strength in the base currencies being the euro and the Great British Pound, to encourage price to trade us higher initially before we see that down move to the downside. Again, this is a market that is trading us bearish. We've had multiple breaks in structure to the downside to suggest that the market is trading us lower. We now just want to see price pull back into a refined area of supply so we can get involved in this market and profit longer term on short positions. Now, as I say, it's very similar to the Euro USD market. We just go back down to the 4-hour time frames. I want to see a break in the last protected high that was set within this bearish structure that traded us down and into this demand zone, because that would confirm to us that enough demand has been picked up in this area in order to see price trade us higher. That means we can get involved in these long positions that we're actually in on at the moment, ride that all the way up and into the area of supply before we close those positions and prepare to go short. But yeah, that's my analysis for the Great British Pound to the US dollar. Very simple. As I say, it's very similar to the Euro USD, so there's not much that needs to be said in retrospect. As I say, we are just waiting for confirmation that enough demand has been introduced from this area here. Okay, now heading over to the XAU USD market. This market I want to see trade lower, longer term, just as I feel price needs to come down to clear some areas of demand before we see a big push up. As we know, this is predominantly bullish. It's a precious metal, so it's always going to hold value. However, with these harsh, hawkish, bullish moves to the upside, I am expecting for price to come to correct these areas, these gaps in the market. So that's why I'm expecting some longer term bearishness for a little while before we see a more of a bullish run. Essentially, you can see that price here is very much distributing. It's ranging within the market, which tells me that price is in preparation for a move to the downside. And what we are seeing is the highs again are always lower than the last one. We aren't seeing breaks in highs, which is very good. Yes, we saw a break in this high here, but this was presuming to manipulate retail traders like ourselves. So from here, I want to see price actually go bearish. I want to see price trade lower from this area here, as I do feel that enough supply can be introduced from this area in order to push price lower. If, however, price absorbs this completely and begins to trade us higher still, then we have this area of interest, which is 2355 to 2368. And then we also have this area up here, 2405 to 2412. You can see here that price has completely liquidated and swept this area of interest. So I am presuming that price may trade us lower now. If we go down to the 1 hour timeframes, we haven't actually been delivered with a structural break to the downside to suggest that price is ready to go bearish longer term. I would want to see a break in this low here, because a break here would confirm that price is no longer following the laws of bullishness and it's now following the laws of bearishness. Why? Because we are breaking the lows and protecting the highs, which is exactly what the laws of bearishness put in. So I want to see a break here to suggest that enough supply has been introduced, and then we can obviously look to go short, looking for an area of interest within the impulsive wave that breaks the structure to get us involved in this market with a refined entry. But that's my analysis for XAU USD. As I say, if this area is swept and price continues to trade us higher, then we'll look at this area and then the one above as well if this is also absorbed. Okay, I'm going to end on the euro to the New Zealand dollar. Simply, I just want to see price correct into one of three areas of supply. We are seeing price trade us in a bullish way. I provided some analysis for this pair last Sunday, and we are in good profits. We've seen price trade, I think, about 120 pips. Yeah, we've seen price trade about 120 pips, which is really good. I'd love to see price continue to trade us in this bullish way up and into this area. This would be our first take profit initially, although I would suggest that you guys take partials throughout the position if you are in on this market. As I said, this was a market that I gave analysis for last weekend, so you could have actually looked to get involved in some bullish positions based on that analysis, which some of the clients in the VIP chat have done, which is great. Now, moving forward, how can we look to get involved? Well, we want to see price continue in this bullish momentum. So if you can find fractal areas of demand to get involved in long positions, then brilliant. I would suggest that you wait for price to trade in, give you the fractal breaks of structure to the upside after the penetrations, and then look to get involved. Once price trades us into this area of interest, if we are delivered with the break of structure to the downside, that would suggest that enough supply, should I say, has been introduced to then see this market take its next low. Because ultimately, we are wanting to see a higher time frame bearish structure, just because that's what price has been putting in over the course of the last year or so. But that is my analysis for this Sunday sessions video. As I say, there's three areas of interest there. Go ahead and mark them out for yourselves. We've got 1.7979 to 1.8010, and then we've got 1.8061 to 1.8103, and then obviously this area marked out here. So go ahead and mark these areas out for yourself, people. These are key areas of interest that we'd love to see price trade into and reject nicely from, giving you guys the ability to get involved in this market with a refined entry. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. As I said at the start of the video, if there's anything you're unsure about, anything I've mentioned that you don't understand, leave them in the comments below and I can break down a video on that topic. If you have enjoyed it, you've learned a thing or two, send it to your friends and family. Apply these areas to your own charts and see if you guys can take some profit as well with you this coming week. Now, with all that being said, I'm wishing you all a very profitable week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next Sunday Sessions video.